that mean? So if you look at the KYC requirements for ICOs and in general, there are basically three major things you need to consider. One is, what's your specific role in it? So are you the initiator of the project, of the ICO? Are you an exchange? Are you a broker? Are you a bank? So that this matters, and I will get into more detail how that matters. The second thing is, what kind of tokens do you offer? Is it a utility token? Is it an asset security token? Is it currency token? And the third, probably most important thing is, in what country do you do your ICO? So, and based on these topics, you need to be aware how to comply with KYC. So, starting off with the specific role you take in an ICO. If you are the initiator of the ICO, so you write the white paper, you want to collect the tokens, you want to do the ICO, you typically don't have a KYC requirement yourself in most of the countries. That's certainly true for Germany and Switzerland, but it's also true for a lot of other countries. Nevertheless, the partners you work with, so the brokers, the exchanges, the banks, they have the KYC requirements, and if you want to work with them, you basically need to comply in some way with that. And this can either mean that you do the KYC yourself, but most likely the specific partner who has the requirement does to do it him or herself. So that means the exchange needs to do the KYC, or the particular bank, or the broker. And if they don't want to do it themselves, then they can mandate a provider. This is quite an important thing, because if you basically initiate an ICO and say, okay, I will just do the KYC myself, it can mean in the end that it's actually invalid and it cannot be used by the bank or by other partners. So that is super important, that you coordinate with the specific partners you work with in your ICO to basically make sure that the right parties mandate the right providers to comply with KYC. In terms of tokens, you have some possibilities to get around KYC requirements if you have a utility token. Nevertheless, as I said, it's mainly the banks and the partners who drive the KYC requirements and who are ultimately responsible for that. If they have not only utility tokens but other tokens, then they have the KYC requirement nevertheless. Yeah? So it's not only important that you look at your own tokens, but on the tokens your partners work with. And of course, the third aspect is the country. I mean, I'm not an expert for all the 180 countries on the world and the AML regulations, of course, because they are actually quite complex, and I think probably nobody knows all of them. As a general rule, the whole development in most of the countries basically obliges all the partners, especially those who in the end exchange cryptocurrencies into fiat, that they do a KYC check. Yeah, so it's a good approach to start off with a general AML KYC requirements for the specific country you want to do your ICO. So that said, so what is the best approach to think about where you do your ICO, also in terms of regulation and KYC requirements? We have been we have been executed and helped more than 20 ICOs over the last month. And from my experience, by deciding what country to choose, it's not the most important aspect how the KYC regulations are in this country. So at least I would not see that as the most important criteria. It's a bit like founding a company. Then you basically look, okay, where are potential customers? Where are my investors I want to reach? Yeah? Where are the most important people that are most relevant for my ICO? It can be also partners. So this should guide you towards the country because even though KYC requirements might be stricter in some countries, particularly in Switzerland and in Germany and other European countries, I think they are not